What's up guys, Meredith with ExtremeTerrain.com, and today we're checking out these Light Bar DRL Projector headlights with the black housing and the smoke blends, fitting all 2016 and newer SR or SR5 Toyota Tacomas. Now the factory headlights not only have a simple and non-sporty look to them, but they can also start to wear on the lens, making the front end of your truck look a little bit older than it really is. Now this set will switch that up, being great for the Tacoma owner who's looking for some stealthier, more aggressive styling and a more dynamic appearance for the front end thanks to the DRL and the lens design. Now these will also help when it comes to lighting performance if that's something that you're also lacking with your current setup. Now these will feature a pretty dark appearance with that inner black housing complementing that smoke lens on the front. Now the lighting on the inside will be bright enough, however, to shine through with a super bright C-shaped or bordered LED running light bar that will have more of that fiber optic style feel to it. Now this set will also have projector lenses for the high and the low beam, and although they are still using halogen bulbs, the lenses will create a clear and concise beam pattern with a sharp cutoff line to help visibility while you're driving at night. Now the construction here will be pretty resilient with a black ABS plastic housing and a direct fit, as well as a tough lens on the front, which will be able to withstand kick up on the street and kick up off-road very well if you are taking your Tacoma on the dirt. Now the housings will also be weather sealed to resist any moisture or dust getting into the inside of the lens and potentially harming the bulbs inside. Now this will also include bulbs, so you won't have to swap anything over if you don't want to. And the best part of all here is that you don't have to do any additional wiring with this kit. It's completely plug and play, making install a breeze. These will come in at roughly $575, putting these on the lower end of the spectrum when it comes to pricing. Now compared to others available in the category, these will be more of that hybrid build, including some LED lighting with the DRL and halogen lighting with the driving lights, which is going to bring that price down to a little bit more of an affordable level if you don't want to completely break the bank on a set of full LEDs. Now these will also bring a lot more to the table compared to other more simplistic options that are usually for factory style replacements, making these well worth it if you want a balance between features and price with a well-built and stylish set of headlights. Now, like I mentioned, the install is going to be completely plug and play. All of the bulbs are in there and the housing is going to be a direct fit. So I'm gonna give this a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, and it should only take you about 2 hours start to finish to get the job done. Now, speaking of the install, one of our customers here has put this on their Tacoma and is gonna walk you through what that process looks like step by step. So that is going to wrap it up for my review. Let's go ahead and get into the install.
Hey everybody, it's Rudy McCormick, and I am going to be putting new headlights on my 2021 Toyota Tacoma. These are the stock headlights that we'll be replacing with some dark tinted aftermarket LED headlights. And in order to accomplish this task, I've got just a couple of tools that I'll be using. The first one is a socket, an extension, and this small to medium extension should do just fine. And then a 10mm hex head socket. Put these together, get it ready. This is a body panel popper. If you don't have one of these, a small straight screwdriver will work. There's several little black clips you'll need to pop and pull out. And then I just have a small pick. Some of those black tabs can be a little bit of a challenge to open up, and a pick helps to slide underneath there. And literally that's the only tools I need. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is disconnect the sonar. And so the sonar is a sensor in the front that works with your crash protection. And to do that, I'm just going to squeeze this fixture as I'm pulling it out. Pull that out, and I'm gonna gently pull down from the bottom as I work this piece through this hole. That pops through, and now the sonar is disconnected. And what I'm going to do now is go ahead and remove these two 10mm bolts. Okay, the 10mm bolts are out. I'll go ahead and take my popper. And there's two clips, one here, which we will gently pop up. And then what you want to do is pull the entire clip out. Set that over there. And then there's one in the same position on the other side. Again, pull it up, getting the entire clip out. And now that should loosen up the bumper. So now, what you want to do is, because these have little snap clips, is just gently lift them up, tilt them forward just a smidge, grab the bottom of the bumper, and gently pull away from the vehicle. And that removes the grill. Okay, so the next steps are going to be to remove the bumper. In order to do that, we'll need to remove this 10mm bolt, unlock this clip, and then there's another 10mm bolt under here, which holds the bumper to the frame. So in order to loosen this, we'll just need to turn this 90 degrees, and then that should pop out. And then that clip will remove itself from the frame. Grab our 10mm. Go ahead and loosen the bumper up. And on some of these models, there's a fender flare, and that's a completely different install because you'll have to pull that away, and then that's got another locker up in here, which this one does not seem to have. And then the other thing you'll need to do here is pull this inner fender away from the fender. And then there's just one more 10mm down here that you need to loosen up to get the bumper to pull away from the inner fender well. And it's a little bit tight down here, but not too bad. And then of course you'll want to repeat this on both sides of the vehicle. And there we go. Okay. And that inner fender well should simply pop out. And there you have it. You can see this one is loose. I hit a deer and did kind of do some damage up here. 10mm bolts out, one on either side of the bumper, which is attaching the bumper to the frame. There's one here. And then there is, if you can get in here and see this, it's up in here. That's another 10 that's got to come out. Okay. There. Another one here. You're probably not going to damage too much down here, so you only hit your air dam on the head. And as I'm down here, I'm just inspecting for any sort of damage or leaks or anything like that I might be able to see while I'm down here. I don't see any. Just one more down here. Okay. And I am leaving those bolts on the ground because they can stay there because I don't need them until I need to put them back, and I do kind of want to keep track of them. All right, so we'll go right into the next step, which is to remove some more clips. Grab my popper tool, and the clips we're going to need to remove, there's one here. So we'll go ahead and just pop that out. There we go. And you want to just loosen that up. And again, remove the whole clip. And you're just going to go right down the line here. And all these clips are the same size, so you really don't need to worry too much about them. Just keep them in one place and don't wrench on them too hard that you break them. And then one more here in the corner. And that's that. So that's all your clips. And then, so right now essentially the bumper is free from the vehicle. You should be able to then come over here and then loosen the bumper away from frame there. And then do the same thing on the other side, gently of course. And there's your bumper. Okay, so now I'm starting on the driver's side of the vehicle. We're almost done with these, removing these headlights. And so there's only 3 more 10mm bolts. The first one is here inside the bodywork connector. Just gonna loosen that up. Pull that 10mm out. And actually you don't have to fully pull it out. Just make sure it's nice and loose. We'll check that later. And then one up here at the top. That's got to come all the way out. And then this one's got to come all the way out. Okay, put these away over here. And then now to remove the headlight, I just want to make sure I've got all my stuff squared away. And actually in some of the videos they do remove this bracket here, so let's go ahead and just do that. Again, it's just a plastic clip, and that plastic clip's going to be right here. And all you want to do is pop that clip like the rest of them. Just go ahead and pop the clip. Pull the clip out. And then that special clip, so you want to keep that one separate. And then this should pull away from the, and then twist and pull. Put this down here so you know where that came from. And now that you've got everything loose, the headlight itself should pull away. And then here again, what you have to do is raise up these clips up here to get it away from the body. Do that with my little pick here. I really don't want to damage anything. There we go. Now that's loose. So all you want to do is pull it away. And there you go. There you have it. And then all you want to do here is just remove the connectors. And they're all just push in and pull type connectors. And then this last one is a twist. And there's your headlight. Notice this one is cracked. That's again from hitting a deer. One of the reasons I'm doing this replacement. There you have it. Press and pull. Press and pull. Okay, and then as you take the old headlights out, you can actually remove this connector because these new headlights that I've got actually have the connector built right in. So this is literally going to be plug and play. So we'll throw this in my pocket. And then what I want to do now is just connect all these wires back onto the new headlight. And in order to do that, I'm going to get it fairly close to where it needs to connect. And then just start adding my connectors back as I have removed them. And you want to hear that click. That click tells you that it's correctly in place. You know, hear the click? It's not connected. And then lastly, that one there. And then what you want to do is just get this thing back into place. And what you're going to want to make sure of is that that snaps, and then this bracket actually goes down into there. And then pull this back a little bit, and I made a mistake. Okay. You want to start on this side, and you want to get this clip lined up with this. Okay, so I did realize I did make a little bit of a mistake, and that is that I've got to pull this apart enough to actually get this headlight inside of that piece. Also make sure that that's popped into place as well. There. Now, make sure it's just a little bit snug. Doesn't need to be cranked down super tight. And then, so your headlight's in place at this point. It's probably a good idea to go ahead and power up the vehicle, make sure the light turns on. Go ahead and put our 10mm back in the top of these. Make sure that it's looking good, the alignment is correct all the way around, and it does appear to be. We can go ahead and reattach. And with these, what you want to try to do, I think the spec is 30 pound-feet, 30 pound-feet, and then 35 pound-feet, and or inch-pounds, I'm sorry, 30 inch-pounds, and then 35 inch-pounds. We're just going to make sure that they're snug at this point. We'll torque them later. Okay, that is attached headlight. So this bracket attaches here, and that attaches the screw head to the headlight itself. And so because the new headlight's already got one on it, you just have to make sure to get that inserted properly as you reattach this. Okay, so pop that back in and put this off to the side for a moment. Let's make our electrical connections. And again, put this down for a moment to show you something. We don't need this bulb, side marker bulb, so we'll go ahead and just pop it out. Stubborn on this chilly day. There we go. There. Then off to the side, we have our new headlight. And you're just going to make your connections from right to left. Again, listening for the snap. For the snap. And listen for the snap. Okay, so what you want to do when you get it back into place, make sure that it's lined up properly here. Make sure your top two brackets are in and your bottom bracket snaps in. And that is your headlight. So what I want to do now is go ahead and get this bumper back into place. And this probably goes better with two people, but I'm going to do this alone here. And what you want to do is just get it into place fairly close to where it belongs. And there's a group of clips down here that you just want to kind of get lined up. Slide it on so you're not having to hold the whole weight of it, just like that. And then what you want to do is come over here and go ahead and snap this back into place. And you want to get it close at the top, like that. And then you want to wrap this back around on the bottom. Just like that on one side. We'll go ahead and do the same action on the other side. Get that close, wrap that around, and we are good to go there. And so the other thing we want to make sure before we go any further is that the bottom bolts are lined up before we put the clips on. So I'm just going to take a step back and then just look at the bumper, make sure it's pretty much lined up where it needs to be. And it does look pretty good. It's going to move a little bit when I start tightening things down, but for the most part, it is good to go. The holes are lined up, so go ahead and grab my 10mm and hit the deck. There we go. That one is lined up perfectly. And we'll go ahead and tighten this down. You don't want to over torque these. It's just holding on a piece of plastic. Alright. These you want to sort of tighten down a little bit more, but like I said, the last thing you want to do is strip these out. Nice and tight on that one. Got the third one. And one more. Okay, so the next step is to go ahead and put our clips back in. And we've got one here. And what you want to do is open these up a little bit. Insert the body and then push it in. Open it up, insert the body, push it in, open it up, insert the body, push the clip in. And you just want to go through these one by one, making sure that you don't break them. Okay, and that is the reattachment of the bumper. Okay, and what you want to do is make sure you get your inner fender well tucked in here where it belongs. Get everything snapped in correctly. And then go ahead and reattach your 10mm down here at the bottom. Alright, so a good spot here. And the one thing you want to make sure of on this step is making sure that the inner fender well is behind this lip and lined up with the holes. Line that up, and then go ahead and push this in. Screwdriver, and go ahead and give that a quarter turn to snug it down. And there you have it. And repeat the same on the other side. Okay, the next step, once you get the bumper fastened down and straightened away, is to go ahead and reinstall the grill. And in order to do that, you just want to make sure that you get it lined up horizontally and vertically before you try to go ahead and push it up into place. There's a bunch of tabs on the bottom that have to line up in order to get it where it needs to go. That clip's there. Make sure you know where your sonar clip is because you got to put that in next. Go ahead and snap the bumper into place. And there you go. Or the grill. The grill is now tightened and secure. We'll go ahead and put the fasteners back in. And here, you've just got the two clips that you pulled out. Go ahead and reinsert those. One there, one over here on the other side. Nope, that didn't work. Move that out of the way for a sec. Oh, that's not quite in the right spot, but that's okay, we can fix that. Yeah, that's in the right spot. Clip goes in perfectly. Put our two 10mm back on. Now, you cannot forget the sonar, because the sonar is your crash detection system. So you want to go ahead and find this knobby, run it back up through this hole, and then go ahead and snap your connector back into place. And now we're done.
So that's going to wrap it up for my review and the install of these Light Bar DRL projector headlights with the black housing and the smoke lens, fitting all 2016 and newer SR or SR5 Toyota Tacomas. And you can find these right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.